Yeah.
Well, all right. Welcome in, folks, to Fractured Fairy Tales. Remember that show when we were kids? The cartoon Fractured Fairy Tales?
Isn't that funny? Out of all the things we've ever talked about, that's the only one I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm older than you are, though, too.
By a couple years. It's not that we're talking a decade.
I use it on my
3
radio.
or 4 years.
I use the theme to Fractured Fairy Tales on my radio show.
I don't recall
And
that.
I've always loved whoever put that show together because it awoke a young mind to do things later in life. You know what I mean? And I just think the music is so. Check it out, Fractured Fairy Tales. Go on YouTube and check it out. But this isn't a show about Fractured Fairy Tales. It's a show about Halton Hills, and
No,
there we are.
that's the world right now. Is Fractured Fairy Tales.
You know, as a journalist, that's one of the things I do. I'm surprised how nasty the world is right now. It's just, I mean, you got everybody pissed off at everybody else.
I was on the phone the other day with my friend, you know Rose. We were talking, and she said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe what just came up on my phone." It was just something she'd seen come up about the news. Somebody with a machete literally cut somebody in the face in the subway.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I saw a video of actually one of those.
My God.
One of those instances on the TTC where somebody darted into the train before it left.
Right.
Yeah, the door and then ran away laughing. A bunch of kids. Well, looked like kids. I'm 62, so kids are could be
Kids.
25, 30, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so here we are. We're brought to you by, as always, Max Tires, 905-873-9255.
And Russ Horton and Leah Lywood.
Yes, and here we are. And Lee Lakin is not here again today, and he's having some health issues with some personal stuff, but he's fine. He's fine.
He's just taking a break.
You know, when you have MS and
Diabetes and there's a handful of
but
things.
you know what? We love him so much, and
Yes.
we wish him all the best. And he'll
We
be
miss
back.
you, Lee.
No, he's just not. He's got a. You know, he's a fighter. He's a fighter. And hey, he's fine though. He's okay. He'll be back in a few weeks. He just needs a little bit of time to recoup from some of the stuff. You know, we don't realize what we have to deal with in life until one of our close friends goes through it. You know, or I mean, and you know, as we get older, things happen to us, right? But,
It does.
But he will be back. He was spotted in Zimbabwe chasing ostriches, but I don't know if you see it. Maybe he's lying to us. But no, we love Lee, and I'll give you.
I personally think he's just hibernating in bed right about now.
Yeah, that's right. So we love you, and we know you're coming back. And you know, when everyone noticed last week, emailing me, "Where's Lee? Where's Lee? Is he okay?" Yeah, he's okay. He's not. He's just not here right now. So
On hiatus for a short time.
on hiatus, but
That's it.
we'll be back at his garage, guaranteed, in the summertime, baby. Lee's garage. I love that Lee's garage because you can sit out on the driveway.
I like the jam sessions after.
Yeah, they're great.
And then when he does that, I mean, I don't know if they're doing it again this summer, but he typically does. So we're looking forward to seeing some more jam sessions, Lee.
Oh yeah, and you know, I mean, maybe what's the name of his band again?
Tin Roof. Tin Roof. No,
Tin Roof, and then of course he had.
Well, Chester,
Crazy
Crazy Chester. They're kind of on hiatus right now too, I think. But
you know, Lee's a musician and a fun guy, and he loves the jams. You know, in his garage, they're becoming legendary in Acton. Anyway, let's get on with the news, and we present the news from the Independent, Free Press, and Halton Hills Today, two fine media organizations, and we also get our stories from the Halton Police and from our social media, which is now huge, isn't it?
it's getting there. We're getting a lot of response with it. It's been absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for the support that everyone's given us.
Not this week, but next week. Give us the numbers on how many people we reach on the Georgetown Tell-and-Sell and the Acton Tell-and-Sell.
Well, you're
And
looking at
there's
about, we're going to
just
say upwards to there's about 22,000-ish in Georgetown, and in Acton it's around 13,000 now, give or take numbers, but that's between the two. You're looking at about 33,000 just for those two sites.
And how many dogs and cats have we found, as I say this every week? You know, I mean, that's the amazing thing about social media, not only ours, but around the world. It's changed, and it's saved so many animals, you know, from death.
Well, the UC, the upper credit, I will say the initials, upper credit right now, they're able to extend where they're staying into 2024, but they are going to have to inevitably leave. So I did do a post for them that I put up, I don't know if you saw it, on our social media in the Halton Hills events and information page, as well as I shared it out to the talent cells. They're looking for any suggestions, any insights, anybody that has even farmland, they want to part with a parcel of it. As they said, it doesn't even have something built on it at this point in time, but they have to be steady going in terms of finding this, because 2024 will come awful quick.
Yeah, it will.
So they're working on it now.
What are we going to do with all of our animals, you know what I mean? I mean, we consider them our animals. It's our community. And about people will say, oh, that's for Aaron. It's for this area.
No, it's for Halton Hills.
How many dogs have I had? I've gone up there. I've got a dog, and I live in Georgetown. So this is our local.
Oh,
and
it
you
is.
know what? I
Is.
can feel the vibrations, and I can feel that this town's going to come through, and we're going to get through this okay.
So everybody, just please keep that in mind, and reach out to the Upper Credit Humane Society. If you have any insights or any way that you can help out, please do reach out to them, because there are a lot of animals out there that are continuously looking for their forever home. So we'd like to, there's temporary stayovers at their hotel at the UCHS.
Yes. This is the top story this week from Louis Rosella, of the Independent Free Press. Halton Regional Police are investigating a reported armed robbery in Georgetown. And police said that the heist occurred about 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February the 15th, when two individuals entered the Cash for You loan store located at 184 Guelph Street. One of the suspects was armed with a handgun and pointed it at the employee and a customer. Halton police said this in a news release. The suspect threatened the employee and demanded access to the back of the store. And the employee immediately called police, and suspects fled the scene rather quickly, police said. And police said that the suspects are armed and dangerous. And if you come into contact with these individuals, do not approach them and call 911 immediately, police said. And anyone with information, of course, regarding this investigation and or the identity of the suspects is asked to contact the 1 District Criminal Investigations Bureau, 905-825-4777, extension 2416. And there is the main story. There's been a lot of break-ins and robberies lately locally. You notice that?
It's getting worse, unfortunately.
And
I don't know.
of course, sad news this week. Moya Johnson passed away.
You know, she did so much work with us, off and on. You know, when we'd have our bike giveaways with Hayden's Rebicycling for that time that we were running that, and she'd come out and she'd get into the mix and help us out considerably. So, and she's such a loving woman. She was a beautiful lady. You know, definitely going to be missed by all.
Well, in the early 1990s, the Georgetown chapter of Canadian Federation of University Women wanted to make sure it was informed about the issues facing the town. The CFUW designated someone to attend Halton Hills Council meetings, take notes, and report back to the group. The members would then discuss the issues and decisions council made. Eventually, Moya Johnson, the CFUW's council reporter, decided she didn't want to just discuss the decisions. She wanted to get in there and get her nose dirty and get her. She was a golden gal. She was. And,
well, she'll be well remembered.
Hello to Rick Burnett, who watches every week, our former mayor. God bless you. You and your wonderful wife up there. I don't know if he's in Wasaga.
Maybe he might be in Wasaga for a while. He doesn't have to worry about being back.
You know, I know he's gone to. Where's he been lately? He's been to Houston and.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a jet setter now. You know what I mean?
Good for him.
And he's going to wear shorts on the beach up at Wasaga. Or Wasaga. What is it? Wasaga or Wasaga?
Tomato.
Tomato. Don't say that to people who live there because you piss them right off.
Probably. Sorry.
All right, this one from the Independent Free Press as well. A 4.26 increase to the overall 2023 tax levy was approved for Halton Hills during the recent council meeting. The blended tax rates accounts for a 3.4% rise in Halton region taxes and a 6.62% increase in the town's portion of the tax bill, including special levies dedicated to rising insurance costs and infrastructure, with no projected changes to educational taxes. And for the average residential property in Halton Hills, assessed at $623,500, homeowners can expect an overall increase of $217.40. There you go. How do you like me now in the 2023 property tax bill? So there's some wonderful news for us all there from the town. And don't forget we have a local radio station here, of course, and you're a big part of that. You're our afternoon host, of course, middays.
Midday.
Now, we're going to be talking about somebody coming on board for an afternoon show. Her name is
Amanda.
Amanda Besant. Yeah. And she's a local gal, and she's going to be taking over 2 to 6. And Leah is going to go on news with me when he comes back. We're going to get him to do whatever he wants. Leah can do whatever he wants. And I can't believe the overall love for Lee this week. It's been unreal, you know. Lots of people love you out there, guys. So
of course.
But we're talking like he's dying. He's not dying. He's fine.
You're talking like he's dying.
I know. Well, I have to blame
I'm
you.
over here.
No, but I'm saying he's fine. He's fine. He's coming back.
Well, it's strange, after 2 years of the two of you sitting here.
Yeah,
right?
Don't you think I miss
So
him?
people are gonna to question what's going on. There's a change up. What's she doing there?
Who?
Me,
you?
yeah, who? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You know that broad that sits there in
but
his
you know
seat.
what? You're an entertainer, like you sang. Now you're getting into you've been on the radio for a while. Now you're getting into this side of it, and but you're far smarter than Leah and I, because you're the one that knows what's going on. Him and I just sit here with our mouths open, going, "What? You know?"
Yeah, but you like it when I'm on this side because I can't use a whip. Then I'm on camera.
That's right. But now we've had a lot of cars stolen lately. Notice that. That seems to be going up though lately a lot, especially in Georgetown South. Halton police are investigating following an attempted vehicle theft in a Halton Hills neighborhood on Wednesday, February the 8th. At around 4:08 a.m., 2 male suspects approached the residence on Brannigan Crescent and attempted to steal a 2022 GMC Yukon Denali, according to police. Wow. And the vehicle passenger door was reportedly pried open. However, the individuals left without stealing the vehicle, which was equipped with a club anti-theft device. Those things are good. And Lee always talks about those.
Yep.
No detailed suspect descriptions are available. Vehicle thefts are reported on nearby Goldham Way, Lookout Court, and Eaton Street during the same period. So it's around the Mountain View and Danby area that you're looking at.
South Georgia.
Where the Petro Canada and the wonderful folks at A&W are. I love A&W at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing like it. You know?
I don't know. I'm usually sleeping at that time.
They've got a great staff over at the A&W and the Petro Canada. Everybody's so happy in there at night, in the middle of the night. And during the day, they got
because it's quieter. They're not dealing with a lot of hustle and bustle and ornery patrons. Because it seems anymore, poor McDonald's and A&Ws, all of them are going through so much with people commenting on their staff all the time.
That's right.
You know, it's not an easy job for the little pay that they get. You know, it's a little more respect.
I'd like to say hi to Kenny Hayes, who views the podcast and listens to the radio.
I grew up with
over
Kenny.
on King Street. And Kenny's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
His mom used to be the queen of the McGibbon.
Yep.
And, she was quite. Did you ever meet her? Oh, you kidding? Okay.
Born and raised here, Russ.
Yeah.
It was a few doors down
So
from
the
my
Hayes
grandparents'
family
store.
are famous. And Kenny's one of my buddies, and he's the guy that jumped out of a moving car when Karma Chameleon came on the radio at 50 kilometers an hour.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes, Yes, he'll tell you that story. So, you know,
I'll have to hear that one. I haven't heard that one.
if you ever buy Kenny a gift, don't buy him a Culture Club album.
Oh, I'm thinking not.
Or a CD, or pardon me, or a download, whatever you call it now. All right, so hi to Kenny Hayes. Now, here's something as well from the Independent Free Press. Dictatorship, it says here in a different form. The town of Halton Hills stresses the need to repeal Bill 23. Losing the unique characteristics of Halton Hills to repercussions from Bill 23 is a substantial concern for Kristen Wendell, who is a Georgetown resident of over half a century. Pointing to projected tax hikes, service cuts, loss of green spaces and farmlands, and urban sprawl resulting from the Ontario Housing Act, Wendell said that he feels like dictatorship is in a different form. And he says we're on the cusp, and this can't continue. So these are stories from the Independent Free Press, and we're getting on to Halton Hills Today as well. And I like Halton Hills Today. The Independent, of course, has been there forever, but I like Halton Hills Today because the two of them together, they grab stories that
they offset one another,
and it's wonderful to have two.
Yeah.
And now, you know, the Independent's a lot better lately as well with the stories. Local stuff.
Well, it reminds me of when I was growing up, because we used to have the Herald and the Independent.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the way it
Right?
is again.
Yeah.
And with us as well, of course, in there, and our social media. So all of us together, we've got a pretty good media package in this town. You know, you got the Independent, you got Halton Hills Today, and you got us. And there's a lot of communities that don't have anything like that at all, or any social media. But many communities like ours do. All right, labor shortages amid the pandemic are rebounding as Halton businesses try to find their footing in a post-pandemic world. Many are scrambling for workers. Amid what Statistics Canada describes as a record-tight labor market, with the country's unemployment to job vacancy ratio at a historical low, labor scarcity continues to plague Halton municipalities, much like the rest of the province. The Ontario Chamber of Commerce says in its 2023 economic report that labor shortages are seen across sectors and tampering business confidence as employers struggle to hire and retain the workers they need to recover and grow in the aftermath of the pandemic. So that thing just dinged. Does that mean something? It's okay? It's nobody interrupting on broadcast, I hope. Oh, God.
Maybe they're jumping in and going, way to go, guys.
Did I tell you how many people emailed me saying, hey, who's your good-looking partner?
They didn't have their glasses on, I see.
Of course. Now, you're on a video show of your own, right?
Yes.
Now, what's the information on that?
Well, as you know, I have my own, I do energy healing and miscellaneous other things. And basically, a lot of people that I work with and I know that do many different types of healing modalities, I do live discussions every other week for an hour at night with each one of these people, because there's a lot of people looking for these healings and ways to, other than through pharmaceuticals, in order to, discover what's wrong and work with it. And it just gives everybody a wide variety to see what's out there.
Tell us a little bit about your business, because you run, tell us about what you do.
How many hours do you got?
Well, I'll give you a couple of minutes.
I'm kidding.
I got some stories there. But basically,
I know.
Well, phone number.
It's Mother Owl's Renaissance. I do Reiki, I do meditation, I do circles, drumming circles, sound healings. There's so much more. You just have to go and look. As I said, Mother Owl's Renaissance on Facebook is the Facebook page, and then you can find links and everything else to the website. Everything's there.
And you are also my app link to talking to my late mom, which is cool.
Yes, I do download messages on occasion.
According to her, and I can feel the vibration too, is my mom hangs around here a lot. And
she was that day. The day I gave you that message. I saw it was so funny. It was so funny.
You answered many questions that you wouldn't have known had she not been there, which blew my mind. Just wanted to say that. All right, Halton Healthcare names a new president and CEO this week, and Halton Healthcare's board of directors appointed Melissa Farrell to replace outgoing Denise Harden, who is retiring after 9 years at the helm. And Farrell is set to assume the role on June the 5th. She currently serves as the president of St. Joseph's Healthcare Hamilton and sits on the board of Ontario Hospital Association as well. So there's the wrap for what we're telling you from the Independent right now. Why is that doing that, Leah?
Now, what about...
I'm just a dumb...
That's why I'm
a
sitting
dumb
This is
big
why I'm
daddy
sitting
over here.
beside you, so that...
Jack, get rid of that thing. What is that thing? Achoo, achoo.
So now
All right.
just...
This is obviously a brand new...
Yes, I brought my good laptop right here.
Yeah, it's nice.
There.
You can
Just
actually
gotta go
see
back
what
down.
I'm doing. Why is it
Yes.
doing in help?
That's all
Training,
right, because it was over.
updates.
Because I was over the.
Oh,
I was just over the wrong thing.
okay. And I'm glad that you understand what's going on because I have no idea.
There you go. You can just
There we
scroll
go.
down.
I
There you
can
go.
scroll down now. There you go.
You can do that.
All right. So I told you about the healthcare, and we'd also like to remind you about one of our programming highlights, and that is, well, we have the gatekeeper on in the evening, and the gatekeeper is a very sheltered person. And he arrives at the radio station about 6:45 every Monday through Friday, and with his milk crates. He's got a long beard,
Yep.
and he's a very spiritual kind of guy, spiritual like you are. And he hangs around the graveyard a lot, of course, the gatekeeper.
Well, that would work with me too,
Over on
as a,
King
as a
Street.
paranormal investigator. We've done a few of those investigations
Sometimes
over the
he
years.
broadcasts over there, and you can hear the gatekeeper on Halton Hills Online Radio, 7 to
Yeah.
midnight. And we have the girls during the day, and of course, Lee's still on at the moment on the radio. But let's see what's going on, what else is going on here. We would like to remind you about Don Cherry.
go.
That's a wonderful story, and that's this is a great story. I love this. Georgetown boy, he's 5 years old. He's a top fundraiser for a local charity walk. Now this kid's been on our social media. He's been on the Independent. He's now on
I know,
Halton
he's
Hills
such a
Today.
cute little guy too, eh?
And Colton Couch is excited about walking 5 kilometers in support of Links to Care and the Georgetown Bread Basket. We got to get this kid on the show, maybe.
We should.
Eh?
We should.
All right, well, let's try. And Colton Couch is ready for the coldest night of the year. And this is from my buddy Melanie Hennessy over at Halton Hills Today. And she says that they say you're never too small to make a difference. And little Colton Couch is certainly proving this to be true. The 5-year-old is the leading fundraiser for this year's Coldest Night of the Year charity. And it's a walk in Halton Hills, of course, set to take place on February 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. And the local youngster was inspired to get involved after seeing the procession of participants in bright yellow hats go past his home last year. After speaking to them with his father, Kevin Couch, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly,
Yeah, I think so.
and learning more about the walk benefits those who live in the community, Colton's mind was made up. And I wanted to do that too, he told Halton Hills Today. And the Georgetown Hospital Foundation, they've got a different kind of fundraiser coming up, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Colton Couch, there's a kid we should get on, though, on the show. It's amazing how our young people inspire us, you know what I mean? There's a guy, he's not so young anymore, he makes the hot dogs, squirts hot dogs up.
Oh yeah, his hot dogs are amazing.
He's not a kid anymore, but when we first met him, he was a kid. And now there's somebody that grabs life, you know what I mean, and says, hey,
what you're
what
supposed
could
to do,
be
though.
better is making somebody a hamburger, or not a hamburger. By the way, maybe he could do that. He could add that to his cart. Here's a suggestion. These little burgers, you know what I mean? Be pretty cool. But, he takes...
Yeah, but it's called a hot dog, Gord's hot dog, so.
There used to be a lady in Acton back in the 90s and early 2000s she was known as the Sausage Lady, and she was always on in that area around where Sobeys is, on one side of the road or the other. And I remember I used to have some wonderful talk. I wonder what had happened. Does anybody know what happened to Acton's sausage lady? I'd love to know.
There's a question. If you guys have any answers,
And,
reach out. We'd love to know.
That's right. So we'd like to thank Melanie Hennessy, our wonderful friend over there at Halton Hills today, for a wonderful story and a wonderful little boy. And we should try, I don't know how well, maybe through Melanie, maybe she can help me get in touch with him, get him on the show. All right? Put him right in the middle there. He can read all the stories.
No, him and I
bet you he can, too.
I bet him and I'd be sitting about the same height.
Maybe I better sit in the middle.
Maybe.
Maybe. What's going on this weekend? Ignite the Night, and that's all weekend long at the Terracotta Conservation Area, and visitors can hike or snowshoe on trails lit up by fire and lights every weekend until March the 4th. 1 hour ice skating rink reservations will be available as conditions permit. Equipment will be available to rent on February the 18th. Registration is not required, and further event details are available if you go to Halton Hills Today, right there. So, and I like the fact that Halton Hills Today is starting to advertise what's going on the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's important.
Because it's important.
Most people work out of town, or there's a lot that work out of town, so they're not always familiar what's going on the weekend. And this way, you know.
And of course, it's
it's
the long weekend this weekend, right?
Yes, family day, yeah.
And then we got 11 on Monday. We got the Maple Avenue Baptist Church in Georgetown. You can join the Maple Avenue Church crew for a fun time of bouncy castles, snacks and crafts with your family. There's no registration required, and that's from 9:30 to 11:30 on this coming Monday.
Are you going to the bouncy castle?
I don't think they'd let me in the bouncy castle because I'm a bouncy castle on my own there, you know what I mean? But Winter Fun Family Day, of course, Willow Park Ecology Center also happening on Monday. Spend quality family time in the outdoors along beautiful Silver Creek. Activities will include a guided nature walk and animal tracking, fire and marshmallow roast, and winter games and a seasonal craft as well. All ages are welcome. The cost is $5 per person, and children under the age of 2 get in free. And there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, as a matter of fact. February the 20th again on Monday at the Acton branch of the Halton Hills Public Library. You can explore books, songs, and more. The program is best suited for children ages 0 to 5, whatever that means, their caregivers and loved ones.
0 to 5, so newborn and up.
I know. I'm just
You're being facetious.
So now, the Georgetown Raiders, of course, we're heading into playoffs now. And hello to Aaron Nagy and the gang over at the Georgetown Raiders, and we're getting very excited because playoffs are coming up. And you and I got to go to a game one night, you know.
Yeah.
And wear our Acton dinner jackets. So it's a date, right?
We'll figure it
I got
out.
a date with her. That's
We'll
right.
figure
My
it
very
out.
first date with Leah. Bud the Spud on a Stick is going to die of jealousy. But anyway, it'd be nice for you and I to go over and maybe we get some pictures with the players before the game, not after. Well, it depends on whether they win or lose. What kind of, they're wonderful.
No,
kids.
it's been before because then they're pumped up. Whether they win or lose, they're pumped up before, right?
We do their social media now. Because nobody's done it. Nobody talks about the Raiders. We pump our boys. And it's going to be the same in the summer with the Halton Hills Bulldogs. You know, and remember back in the day when it used to be the Independent and the Herald, it was always sports, local sports. They had a local sports guy at the Herald. That's all he did.
Yep,
you know.
I remember.
So,
many years ago, but I do remember.
And the fact that the Raiders start their Saturday night games at 5:30, pure genius. You know, you still get home and see the Leafs, buddy. You know, because they were going up against the Leafs, the NHL. It's just dumb. There are kids, we want to see them too. Put them on at 5:30.
Well, it only makes sense because then you're not competing against who wants to watch the Leafs and who, because some Leaf players will go to a live game just because they enjoy it so much either way. But you're not going to get the percentage that you would having the time.
There's
earlier,
nothing like
obviously.
every sport has its own magic in live soccer in the UK and around the world. If you get into a stadium with 100,000 people, it's just going to be electric. You know
Of course.
what I mean? And the same with baseball and football and all the other sports. But there's something about being Canadian and going to a Saturday night hockey game with your kids and some fries with gravy. You know what I mean? And
Swamp water, that was my thing going to the old arena, and even when the Elcott was first put there.
Yeah.
That was my the swamp water. Had to have swamp water when I went.
Now the Georgetown Raiders hung on to defeat the Pickering Panthers on Wednesday night. Next up is Halliburton on Saturday. And congratulations to Raiders goalie Christian Lynch on his first ever career OJHL win on Wednesday night. Good for you, buddy. And we love you guys over at the Raiders, and we're heading into the playoffs. The playoffs are starting very quickly. There's not too many games left. And it looks like we're going to be playing Milton, I think. I could be wrong, but there's always a grudge match between us and Milton. How are we doing for time? I haven't even looked.
I haven't even looked really.
It doesn't matter. I think it's about.
I'd say we're pretty close.
I think it's about 30
You
minutes.
did mention something about helping the Georgetown Hospital Foundation too.
Did I not say
You
anything
did
about
not.
that? All right, so we're
With
I gotta
raising
go back.
money for
Oh, that's
equipment
right.
and technology.
That's right. I said it, and then it completely blinked off on me.
It's underneath.
It's underneath that one. All right, let me just scroll.
There you go, right at the bottom.
Right there. There we go.
There you go.
There we are. Where? Oh, there it is. That's right. That's right. Buried. It's buried, and these 62-year-old eyeballs can't see it. All right.
That's why I'm here.
That's right. The Georgetown Hospital Foundation is raising money for new equipment and technology by participating in their 2023 cruise lottery by purchasing one ticket for $10, 3 for $20, or 8 for $40. You'll have a chance to escape the winter weather and hop on the Norwegian Encore for a 7-day cruise
God, I'd
for
love
2
that.
in the Caribbean. What a
Wouldn't I
great
love to
idea.
So why don't we buy some tickets and we'll see if we can get it.
Okay, all right, that'd be nice. That would be nice to wander off south. And so many people are doing that lately. They're going, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Like Rodney Dangerfield. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, COVID's locked us up for so long, right? But anyway, we'd like to remind you what our radio station is all about, Halton Hills Online, and the lineup that we have. Big Daddy, of course, is on 6 to 10. That's me, by the way, with Bud the Spud on a stick. Peter the piano player with a polyester tie. The Elvis Choir. You know all the gang that hang around here.
I do.
It's very strange. My studio
For many years.
My studio weekday mornings is a strange place, but we make people smile. Leah Lywood's on from 10 to 2. We got our afternoon show from 2 to 6. 6 to 7 is Moose Tracks, of course. The best of Canadian with myself and Foster the Moose.
There you go.
Foster hasn't seen you in a while, by the way. He says hello.
Yes, I would love to say hello. Please tell him hello. I haven't
Yes.
seen or talked to him in a very long
He's
time
usually
either.
hanging around the station about 7 o'clock. You know, you're nowhere near here.
Usually
at
I
7
go,
o'clock.
I leave and he comes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And, of course, we have the Gatekeeper, as I mentioned. Saturday and Sunday, special day here. From 6 to 9, we play what we call Seniors Graffiti, which is the music of the 50s and 60s, early 60s, before the Beatles came along. That innocent time when Leave It to Beaver and, Gunsmoke and Buddy Holly and Chuck Berry were on the air.
Columbus.
And Columbus. And, I mean, it's a special time, and we call it Seniors Graffiti because it is now. The people that grew up there are getting up there. And then, of course, we have our oldie show from 9 to noon. And on Saturdays at 9, we have Don Cherry, of course. He's also on Tuesday afternoon at 2 on local radio. And you want Don Cherry? We got Don Cherry right here. So
Yeah, I love listening to Don. I don't always get to listen to the whole thing, but I
the
I enjoy listening to him.
The wonderful thing about Don is he's not on CBC. He's sitting with his kids on a Sunday morning.
Being Don.
Being Don. He's probably sitting in his house coat and he's so relaxed, and he's, you know, and his kids, Tim and his daughter, they get it out of him by saying, "Hey, Dad, do you remember that story?" "Oh yeah," and then he'll ramble off and be Don. I mean, Don is Don. He's iconic, and he's on. And of course, we have country music from noon to 4, and from 4 to 6, it's the Top 40 Timeline, my worldwide show, which is heard on many radio stations. And the Big 20 are another show that the Air Radio Network produces with all the fresh new music, right?
Yep.
And we do our research, myself, Bill Smith, on that show every week, and it's the best of every genre, rock, pop, country. And when we add these songs, then we add them to our radio stations, so they're on the air automatically.
I sit at home, like we've got those radio players, I got them all working on the website.
Yes.
And it's funny, if there's a song that this one isn't really my favorite, I'll click to one of the other stations we have. So I go back and forth between FM 108 and the HHOL and Radio GTA. Depends on what, and I just flip back and forth.
Don't forget Mike Devine.
And yes, Party Dog too. Definitely.
I'm on 6 to midnight on Party Dog now during the week and on Sunday afternoons, and I'm jamming on the one.
I'll have to listen. I haven't heard that one yet. I'll have to listen to that.
Well, of course, that station is dance and rock and pop, but a lot of dance. You got to remember, Mike Devine is a dance man. And
he's a party dog.
He's a party dog. We love him, and we're glad that he's on board with the Air Radio Network. As a matter of fact, him and I are talking later this evening. Good friends. And
yeah, we better hurry up because soon you're going to be talking.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think we better call it up, or you're not. He's going to call, and you're not
we
going
have
to
no
answer.
idea how long we've been going. Doesn't really matter. This is local radio, and it's we're on the radio station with Don Cherry as well. The audio feed from this. So let's. I'll let you say it. Go ahead.
Community is driven by community.
You navigate.
We drive.
That's right. That's right. And here's the Mike Devine chimes, the alternate version, originally named by Mark Panopoulos. I said that right, very correctly.
It.
But then Mike said, "No, you don't do it like
the
that.
Loosey,
you do it like this."
Chimes.
There you go, right there. Brought to you by Joe's Banana Gummy Marshmallows.
Gummy? I don't think they're gummy.
I think they're gummy.
Well, these ones aren't as fresh, and we just opened them.
Yeah.
But anyways,
all right.
Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.